there's bolts on that. So the bolts kind of stuck, so I got studs. And I'm gonna put them on because them are a lot easier to deal with. And I'll show you that in a second when I get this jacked up. Alright. Alright, so this spacer falls down just a little bit. And when you put the wheel on, you gotta put the wheel on this, and you gotta lift the wheel up a little bit. And then when you put these in, they don't quite go in. So you gotta lift this up the right way, and this disc has 10 holes, but there's only 5 of them that are threaded. So when you end up, and that there's 10 in that. So you end up putting it in that, and you're holding the wheel up, and it's just a freaking, it was freezing cold the last time I changed one of these. I took a wheel off, and I was struggling, and it was like 0 outside. And I bought studs. I also re-upped on my grease caps because I have to have custom grease caps that I ended up making, and these center caps are the reason why, because this fits into the wheel right there, but that it has to clear, it has to be able to go into that a little bit because this sticks out too much. But that wasn't wide enough, and I did some minor updates on this one and some other places too, so we should be good. So when you get wheel studs, you have to make sure that they're the right length. That's the side that's gonna be threaded into the hub, and you need to use some Loctite. So you have to clean the threads out, like super good. Clean that. Put it with some Loctite, so you know that it's gonna. There's also a 6mm Allen in this, so you know that the stud's not gonna come out. And you also have to get nuts. Now I got nuts that go all the way through, so it doesn't necessarily matter if these are too long, because this can protrude through that. A lot of them are just like a capped nut, whatever you want to call it, and they don't keep on threading on. So, and I have a grease, man, I can't talk. I have a center cap, so it won't look bad. I need to beat this off. Not beat it off, but I need to get that off. Put that one on. Put some grease in there. I like putting sealer on it because these don't seal the greatest, because it's steel on steel contact on the hub and that cap. So I put sealer on it, and this is gonna look different because I got brakes on here that aren't supposed to be on there, and yeah, so stud conversion, it's a way to go. So this is what we're working with here, and that's the old grease cap. That's the fresh one. The only thing I really changed was, hold on, the depth of that. This is a little bit wider than that one, so it's gonna go back on that a little more, and it should hopefully seal up better. And it also has that grease fitting, so when the bearing, so I can like add a pump every great once in a while and have get some grease in there. So, and I almost messed up because I almost put the studs on before I took the grease cap off, and that wouldn't have worked because there wouldn't have been no room to get to it. So I caught myself in time, and I lied. This isn't a 6 mil, it's a 5 mil Allen. A little bit smaller than I thought. So I'll take my 5 mil Allen, and I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Put this grease cap on first, and then put my Loctite on, and freaking just watch. So I got my high temperature sealer on there, and I filled that up with grease. Also got a little layer on the outside, so when it pushes, it'll kind of go back and hopefully seal good. And I put grease in that because I just feel like you need it in there, because when it gets all hot, it'll kind of liquefy a little bit and it'll spread out all throughout this outside bearing. And that outside bearing is the one that always has the problems because it's smaller than the backside. And that's what I'm hoping with this grease fitting. I'll be able to pump some grease in there every once in a while and stop that from going bad. And I have bigger brakes that are vented, so that'll hopefully kind of pull the heat away from the bearings when it gets hot. So I'm gonna push this thing on and hopefully wipe a nice bead of that silicone stuff around the hub, and we will be in frickin' business. All right, so that's all looking good. I'm gonna put these studs on. Before I paint it, or before I put my studs on, I need to paint this beast because it's bare steel and it will rust up with a quickness. So I got this little makeshift, I'm gonna try to keep it off in this little thing, cover up my caliper. And if it gets on the silicone, it's okay, as long as it covers this and keeps it from rusting. I think it's done. Alright, so it's been sitting a while, so it's dry. So now studs. Tight. That's tight. That's tight. Alright, we're good. Okay, so now we got, that's a beautiful sight. And my lovely wheel spacer that's super dirty and got old sealant all over it. Fits over that, and I don't have to mess with any of it. Now that always stays there. There is no fussing with it. If you don't prep something, kind of like them little spots right there, the paint won't stick and you can just literally dig the paint right out. And we should be good. So that's that. I'm gonna put this wheel on and call it a day. Wow. That is so much easier, holy crap. And the wheel will just hang out. I don't have to hold it and align the spacer and the bolt. Dude, got me some new nuts that I just dropped. I think that's it. Kitty! Kitty's tired.